for today. Former President Goodluck Jonathan and former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Attahiru Jega, have raised concerns over political interference in the appointments of electoral commissioners. Jonathan and Jega expressed their displeasure on Tuesday when they addressed attendees at a conference hosted by the pro-democracy and advocacy organization Yaga Africa in Abuja. At the event titled Reflection Conference on Democratic Elections in West Africa, Jonathan said, in Nigeria, you can't get an accurate count of votes because I believe that we have too many ghost voters. We must have credible people. From what ex-INEC chairman Attahiru Jega said, political leaders who are so domineering will pressurize you to do what is wrong. You should be able to resign and leave. You should be able to resign and walk away, please. Jonathan further underscored the necessity of strong and ethical leadership in electoral management to avoid a flawed electoral system and advocated for a robust framework to ensure credible elections. The former president condemned the regionalization of the electoral process, which has affected all facets, including religious groups. He also pointed to the challenges confronting elections in Sierra Leone and Senegal, where allegations of irregularities, including voter intimidation, ethnic tensions, and controversial results, undermine the polls. He added that citizens, civil society organizations, and change drivers should continue mobilizing effectively for credible elections. Well, these are the thoughts from former President of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, as well as former INEC Chairman Attahiru Jega, saying that decrying political influence as regards to electoral appointment. I mean, 2027 is here. So this is out as regards to this. So let me get your take on this one.
Okay, from what Jonathan said, yes, that's the truth. Of course, I remember during his time, there was this free and fair election. You know, if you ask me, perhaps that's also what was on the mind of the late President Yaradua. So Jonathan decided to put that into a test run. But at the end of the day, Attahiru Jega, Professor Attahiru Jega, should ask himself how much he did with the free hand President Goodluck Jonathan gave to him to conduct Nigerians' election.
But you just said it was free during his time.
Yes, what I'm saying is this is what President Goodluck, late President, Yaradua had in mind to give the free and credible election to Nigerians. And Goodluck Jonathan decided to carry out this same vision of late Yaradua. But what I'm saying now is how much of this did Professor Attahiru Jega, carried out? How much of it? How did he conduct that election that at the end of the day, landed us into such chaos that brought in the APC? So while I would say that Goodluck Jonathan has said very well, that is what should have been done. Allow these people to be independent, okay? The governors, the so-called political allies, presidents, and those who are in charge should not influence these INEC officers, commissioners, and INEC chairman, whatever title is given to them now. They should not influence them at all. And that was what Goodluck Jonathan tried to do. In fact, he did it so much more that it didn't have to hurt him.
All right.
And he didn't bother. He's one president I've seen in Nigeria that did what he did, calling out to the person coming in to say, I congratulate you. That's one very good thing. This kind of thing was what happened during Babangida's time when MKO contested. That's one election I saw in Nigeria too. That was also free and fair. But at the end of the day, was thwarted. Nigerians really came out in their numbers. Even this Goodluck Jonathan's own Nigerians came out in their numbers. But they were all disappointed when they got the result. So Professor Attahiru Jega should not just join voice with former President Jonathan because talking is almost free. That's my take on it.
All right, great man Badum, if you can hear me, they say that there's no smoke without fire. So we've seen so many people, so many politicians clamoring for 2027 and also boasting of their coming out successful come 2027. Isn't this the case as regards to political appointments that the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, as well as the former INEC chairman, Attahiru Jega, is saying right now? That they talk about, having political influence, placing some people in strategic positions that could help them win or get into power during elections. Most especially, this has to do with the INEC and all of that. Let me get your take on this quickly.
Umpire. As the electoral umpire, they are supposed to be unbiased,
Right.
non-partisan, and impartial. Their quality must be looked into when making appointments into the office, the electoral umpire's office, because what they do at the end of the day has the capacity of affecting the interests and choice of the, like the issues of Jonathan's election, that he lost the election that brought he considered defeat to President Muhammad Buhari. During that election, Jonathan went a long way to justify how much he wanted to give a gift to Nigerians, the gift of a free and credible election. And he did that to his best. He went ahead with the intention, not his political office. His political office is what the blood of a single Nigerian. To avoid chaos, he considered defeat. It means that the Goodluck Jonathan keep what he preached, and of course has the morals to make this statement that has been made. If you look at the perspective of Professor Attahiru Jega, Attahiru Jega was the electoral umpire at the time this election was conducted. And we know all the undertones that happened in the election.
All right.
We know all phone calls came in. All of these things were news. And up to today, nobody has been brought to. We're on a system where everybody goes out, you get away with what you do.
All right.
You get away with what you do. You go to the Western world, and then you commit a crime 30 years ago. Somebody is still opening your fire 30 years later.
All
But
right.
in this country, anything you do, once you have the power, you can't have it.
All right.
So Attahiru Jega has to check his conscience to see if he maintained an unbiased stand.
Okay.
Last election, he opted.
All right. Thank you so much.
His ass.